What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. I'm your host, Natalia, and it is Friday morning. It is super early. Well, not super early, actually. It's 8 o'clock right now that I'm recording this. But, yeah, it's the first time recording this early. I usually record Thursday night or I guess later in the day on Fridays, but I got stuff to do later, so thought I'd do this episode pretty early. Um, I didn't really have a plan, but I found something in one of my notebooks that I thought I'd talk about, and I guess it'll bring conversation from there. So the first thing I wanted to talk about would be the spiritual ego. This is kind of gonna go into what I found in my notebook, but spiritual ego, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of exactly what it sounds like. So on the spiritual journey or journey to self-realization, um, our main, not, I wouldn't say it's our main goal, but it's kind of like an important thing, an important aspect of self-realization is to overcome ego's hold. Now, ego is like the part of you that isn't, you would say, your true self. So your true self is one with the divine, all loving, all, all knowing, beautiful love, just vibration. Well, I mean, we're still vibration, but it's just it's that oneness. It's the non-duality. It's enlightenment, basically. And the main reason why we're not these true selves is because with coming to Earth, we develop ego, and ego is kind of what hinders us from reaching that true self, that enlightenment. So the main goal, or the main thing in self-realization, on the path of self-realization, is to overcome ego's withhold, so you can reach that true self to you. But yeah, ego comes with the human condition. What I've come to terms with is that I don't think that we can completely obliterate ego in this human form, just because I feel like that's what holds us to this reality. So I've heard of I think it's named Karoli Baba, actually, who would sit in meditation for lose that ego, right? But he would be literally in meditation for weeks, not coming out of meditation whatsoever. And I guess Baba Ramdas said that that's when he would completely let go of the ego, and that's when he just slips into that oneness state, into that meditative state, and then he would kind of grasp on to the last string of it to come back to reality, to talk about it, I guess you would say. And I've also heard this I heard this a while ago, but I'm not too sure from where. Maybe something I read or something I heard. But you have to, in order to stay on this reality, you have at least one string of ego left. Keep that one string to tie you down to this reality, because once you let that one string go, then that's it. You're oh, ascend or whatever. But I don't know if you die. I feel like I came to terms that it's no, if you have no ego, then you just die. But then again, I don't really know if that's true. I think, but I thought that also before I heard the whole Neem Karoli Baba thing, where he would just slip into meditation and then come back out. So I'm not too sure. And then stories of Shiva, I've heard that too. So maybe that could be it. But yeah, so the spiritual ego, anyways, is so ego is very tricky. It's that's why it's kind of our it's our frenemy. People first coming into this path, they're no, I hate ego. I know I'm my true self. Why does ego have to do this? And I'm don't go again. Ego comes with human condition. To to go against it would just be to go against your own condition, to go against the universe itself, because it was given to us for a purpose, so we can learn, so we can be on this path of self-realization. I feel like it's all a game, a goal. You come into the game, and then the whole entire game is you're on this path to self-realization, and then once you reach that enlightenment state, then that's the end. You win the game. But your main enemy is gonna be the ego. But I feel like you should learn to accept it, become friends with it. Not become friends with it, like allow it into your life as much as it is, but know that, like, let it know that it has no control over you. You know that it comes with having the human, like, accept it, basically. Accept it, and then that's how you can move forward. Because then if you're gonna just be in denial of it, like, oh, I hate the ego, blah, 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 then you're not really gonna learn anything. You're not gonna progress anywhere. You're just gonna, like, be trying to flee from something that can't be fleed from. So you might as well accept it and then learn to dominate it. So, again, sorry, back to spiritual ego. So since the ego is very tricky, it comes up, like, behind you in very sneaky ways. So for one is the spiritual ego, right? You're like, oh, I've dropped everything. I am not my ego. I am this beautiful spiritual consciousness now. But also wearing that as a label is the spiritual ego. So, like, you can say, like, oh, I'm the super spiritual person, like, I know all this stuff, I do this, I do that, I charge my crystals, I chant, I don't know, just whatever comes with acting spiritual, I guess. That's the spiritual ego. Like, just wearing it as a label, like, kind of commercializing it in a way, and just, like, but also not standing up to, like, what you're saying, I guess you would say. So, like, if you're such a spiritual person, then, like, you wouldn't be. Okay, first of all, like, okay, I hate this phrase, like, spiritual person, okay? Like, all of us are spiritual because, like, what the fuck, everything is spirit. So, like, I guess you would say, I like to say conscious because, like, yes, we're all spiritual, but are you conscious of it? You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can be saying, like, oh, you're so conscious, but then, like, you're not conscious of how much your ego is taken over, like, low key. Like, you kind of think that you're better than other people in a way because you're this spiritual person, you know? Like, oh, I'm more spiritual than you kind of thing. Like, that's not. That's spiritual ego. Like, what the heck? And that's what that is, okay? So, just don't do this, guys. Like, become aware of it. Like, yes. So another thing, that's, like, a main thing, especially for, like, Hare Krishnas and stuff like that, also in Bhakti, is that we're supposed to wear all this stuff. Like, I wear tilak, which is, like, a symbol on your forehead. I do it with turmeric and sandalwood. It's a symbol of my devotion to God, this universe, my spiritual practice. And then also, like, Hare Krishnas they wear, like, a V that's, like, it's super pretty. It's, like, gold. It looks super nice. But there's all different kinds of ones. And then also they're always dressed in, I forgot what they call it. I read it in a book. But you know, you're always dressed to kind of emanate that spiritual essence within you. So, like, robes or, like, scarves or, like, just anything that somebody would look at you and be like, oh, like, they look like they're gonna go meditate, or, like, they're about to go chant or something like that. Like, that's part of, you know, how do you say, not the rules, but kind of, like, the things to do as a Hare Krishna, or as, like, Bhakti, or as a devotee, is to do that, so that when people see you, they think of the universe, they think of God, they think of singing Hare Krishna. That's like the number one thing. They're like, oh, look, it's the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, like, anytime that somebody even thinks of God or says God or Hare Krishna, like, that does good for the universe. That's sending love out to everything without even consciously knowing it. So that's kind of, like, the main reason why they're supposed to be dressed like that all the time, or wear tilak all the time, just to put that into people's heads. Where was I going with that? But yeah, okay, so yeah, wearing it's okay. I feel like wearing it is beautiful because of that reason, you know? Like, even people who aren't Hare Krishna or anything, but are very conscious of their place in this earth and everybody's place in this earth. I say wear that freely, like let people know, like because then it'll interest people, like especially people that are your friends or are around you who aren't into it. They're gonna be like, why do you dress like that? Why do you do that? And then you put them on, and then they can be like, oh my gosh, yeah, this sounds about right. And then they're just spreading. All you're doing is spreading love by that. So I completely agree with like dressing the part. But then like also it's more action based, like just yes, you can be conscious, but you're not like, don't compare yourself to other people, like, oh, you're not more conscious than somebody else, or like, oh, I'm doing this more than you, or just don't compare, don't put yourself above anyone. The main thing of consciousness is to know that you are God. Yes, you're God, but so is everyone else. Like, don't try to put somebody else down, because then you're not being conscious at all. You're not being fully aware that everyone is God in the same exact way. Yes, some people may not show it, like people who like go around murdering people or like doing a whole bunch of like bad stuff, but it's because they're not aware of their true essence, or if they are, they might just be like messed up in the head. That was another thing that I used to think about, like, okay, is it just because, they were raised bad, or like, but then a lot of people, like just have mental disabilities that like, it makes you crazy, it makes you want to do bad stuff. But anyway, that's another thing. So yeah, don't compare yourself to other people. You're equally beautiful as everyone else. Don't put anyone down. Just be love. Be love, and that's it. There's nothing else to be. But yeah, that's spiritual ego. So the thing that I found in my notebook was how to overcome ego's hold. And then there's like 7 main things, and then a whole bunch of like little things that I wrote underneath. But I think I found this in a video. I was watching a video. It could be a Teal Swan video if you haven't watched any of her videos on YouTube. But I did this in 2015, guys. So like, how old was I in this? I was 16 writing this, or 16, 17. And this was the very beginning of my spiritual journey, when I used to like study a whole bunch of like people who would just talk about this stuff. So I have like so many different notebooks. This is like an addiction I have, mainly because I'm a writer, and this is like a writer addiction, that we just have like a whole bunch of notebooks that we don't even use, or like, but then also I feel like I have OCD too, because I have like a notebook for every single thing, like every category. I cannot write certain things in certain notebooks because like there's just a notebook for every category. So like I have a study book. So the one that I found this in is in a study book that I write stuff that I learn from external resources. So like videos that I watch that talk about like, oh, overcoming ego's hold, or like chakras, or just like anything that somebody else is teaching me. That's the book I'm writing in. So that's that study book. And then I also have another study book that it's like my own study, like kind of like philosophies that I come up with, theories, experiments, journals of like things that have happened to me in like having like spiritual experiences or like meditative experiences, stuff like that. So it's like my own personal study. Not things that I've been learning from outside circumstances, but like myself studying just this reality, I guess you would say. And then I have another one, but no, it's actually not even a study book. It's just like a journal, but not like, so I have like a diary. I have a diary that I've had since I was like 12 or something like that, like a really long time, but like I don't write it in all the time because I used to be super depressed when I was younger. So like I used to write it in it all the time at that point because like, I had stuff to say. But then like as I got like better and better and like more aware of myself and stuff, it kind of like slowed down. So I would only write in the journal when something would happen, or like when I wanted to like update my life. So that's mostly what it is now, like me updating my life, or like sometimes if I'm sad, I'll talk about why in it. But that's like my diary. And then I have another one that I acquired maybe like 2 years ago. It's a beautiful journal, but I feel like that's like my journal, like my writing journal. So like that's like my diary, like, oh, yesterday I went to the store and then blah blah blah. But this one's more like for my journey, like my journey as a person on the spiritual path, as a person on the, yeah, exactly, on the path to self-realization, but also while I'm traveling the world, and also writing too as a writer. So it's going to be like more well written. It's going to be about my travels, my feelings, my like, I guess, where I'm at on the path, and just it's going to be way more deep compared to like, and then tomorrow I'm going to go to this and do that, and like just it's like going to be very poetic. But yeah, anyways, I have like a different notebook for everything. So the thing that I found this one in was the study notebook from something else. So that's why I think I found it from a video. So here are the steps to overcome ego's hold. Number 1, stop being offended. Yes, please, stop being offended. Like, I also thought about this too. Like, you shouldn't have to apologize to people who feel offended either. Like, it's not your fault they feel offended. So, like, being offended just means that they hurt your ego. Literally. Being offended is when somebody hurt your ego, like, oh, you're ugly. Oh, I'm offended because you called me ugly. But, like, what is ugly? You know, like, you're upset somebody's pressing their point of view on you when, like, their point of view doesn't even concern you. Or, like, that's... offense just, it does nothing, like, it doesn't concern you. Like, what people say to you or do, like, towards you, like, has nothing to do with you. So don't be offended. That's it. Or like, don't take things personally, you know? That goes for the same thing. Let go of your need to win. That also goes with like being better than somebody else, like trying to go above somebody else. Yeah, you want to be the winner. Oh, the loser is like, let go of your need to win. That's ego. Ego wants to win. Ego wants to be the winner. 3, let go of your need to be right. Same thing. You're right, the other person's wrong. Ego wants to be right. They want the other person to be wrong. They want you to be on the top. They want you to be the most right person ever. You're so smart. You're so cool. Number 4, let go of your need to be superior. Again, what I've said before. 5, let go of your need to have more. Yes, that's ego loves attachment, loves gaining things, loves buying things, unnecessary things, loves just to want more, not accepting what you have already, not being content with what you have, this present moment, not enjoying this present moment, always thinking about wanting more, going ahead, getting bigger, you know? 6, let go of identifying yourself on the basis of your achievements. Again, like, that's being the winner, you know? Like, don't identify yourself on the basis of your achievements. So, like, yeah, okay, say you're, like, the fastest runner in the country, right? Like, don't let that get to your head, right? Yeah, you're the fastest person in the country, but so what? Like, you run fast. That's nothing crazy. Like, oh, but I run faster than everyone in the world. Like, so what is that gonna do for you? Like, what does that have to do with anything? But yeah, don't hold your achievements over other people and their lack of achievements or their achievements. And 7, let go of your reputation. Your reputation is who you think yourself to be. Who you think yourself to be. Like, my reputation is, this is an example. I'm a good guy. I always stick to my word. And then, like, I never let anyone down. And then something happens. And then, like, they literally can't do something that they wanted to do because, like, of external circumstances. Like, it's out of their control. They can't do it, so they can't live up to their word, right? So then they're gonna get all mad and be like, I'm not mad, but like, oh, but then, like, I can't do that because my reputation's gonna be like, I always do what I always live up to my word, so blah blah blah. And like, alright, but you know, you can't control it, you know? Go with the flow, let things happen. Don't go against the natural flow of things. Like, also just having a reputation and like having this kind of self that you perceive yourself to be, Like, if people say, like, oh, you're not like that, or, like, just speak out against how you view yourself, then you're gonna get offended. Going back to number one, you're gonna be like, oh, they're attacking me, or like, oh, you just don't, like, you don't see it, or whatever. Like, just, that's the ego. Like, don't, well, again, how people view you, it has nothing to do with you. But if you hold that kind of set person for yourself, then you don't give yourself a chance to expand, I would say. So, like, yeah, you see yourself a certain way, but then, like, if you always see yourself that certain way, you're never going to give yourself room to become more, or, like, see through your stagnation, or, like, that you don't need to hold yourself to a certain light, you know what I mean? But yeah, those were the 7 ones. First one, stop being offended. 2, let go of your need to win. 3, let go of your need to be right. 4, let go of your need to be superior. Let go of your need to have more. Let go of identifying yourself on the basis of your achievements. And 7, let go of your reputation. Don't try to be right. Don't try to be the one who's always right. Don't try to be the one who's always winning. Don't try to be superior than everyone. Don't try to ask for more than that's given. I feel like that's more of like a humble thing. Don't hold your achievements over others. And let go of your perceived version of yourself. And then I wrote some kind of like small things under. These aren't numbered, but they're kind of like bulleted. And I guess these are like things that you can do to kind of let go of ego. Monitor your inner dialogue. So, like, monitor your inner dialogue. Like, be conscious of your thoughts. This is such like I feel like we're running on automatic all the time. Like, and I realized this when I became aware of my state of consciousness, or like, just like, when I got put on spirituality, it made me aware of like what was happening inside of me, like my thoughts, my reality. And I guess I was sleeping like my entire life. Like, I was not aware of my inner dialogue. So it would put you in depressed states. You know, you have so much, like, I used to put myself down all the time. Like, I was keeping myself in a state of mind without even realizing it. Like, I wasn't even aware of the thoughts that were coming into my head. So monitoring your inner dialogue, I don't know if it's like a hard thing to do, but I know that, I mean, it is, like, once you become aware of your inner dialogue, then you can start, you know, taking out things that, you know, you don't want yourself to be saying, or like, you can filter your inner dialogue basically once you become aware of it. So this is a great thing to overcome the ego, because then you can hear those thoughts of like, oh, I'm better than this one, oh, that girl's ugly, or like just stuff like that. You can start to filter that stuff out and be aware that you're having these thoughts, and then you can work through them. That's doing the shadow work. Lighten moments of doubt and depression. This is just being a good person, I feel like. Lighten moments of doubt and depression, especially for yourself. Like, if you're doubting stuff, that's also ego, you know, like, true self doesn't have doubt. True self is always loving, is always expansive, sees the bigger picture, sees the brighter picture, sees only going up. And doubt is completely not that. So I would say it's ego. So if you learn to lighten these moments of doubt and depression, then you're working against the ego. Be aware of low energy. This is your environment, the people you're around. Be aware of their dialogue too, and their self-talk, or like how they talk to their friends, you know, like, oh, you're a horrible person, or oh, you're so, like, just being mean. Like, yeah, you guys could be joking, but then, like, come on, that kind of like hurts people, I guess. So, like, just be around good people that are always saying good stuff, and yeah, be aware of low energy around you. Talk to your ego and let it know that it has no control over you today. So yeah, I said that before. Like, just be aware of it, accept it, know that it's there, but just know that you know, you're on this path to becoming more aware of your thoughts. So like, yeah, you see it, but you're not going to let it control your life or your day, you know. You're working against it. View obstacles as opportunities to circulate the power of your unbending intent. View obstacles as an opportunity to circulate the power of your unbending intent. Yeah, so like, obstacles, they're not there to harm you, though. They're only there to push you further, to teach you lessons, to expand your knowledge and experience, to have the strength to fight the world, or not fight the world, but like be a fighter in this world, I guess you could say, be a warrior. But yeah, those are my 7 tips. I think I got this from a video, but I'm not too sure. I highly doubt that I did this on my own, especially because it's in this notebook. So I think it was a Teal Swan video. Those were the main things that I got from it. That is that. I've been waking up earlier. I've been trying to get back on my schedule. Trying to get back into more key flow, like studying my chi. So I've been practicing qigong. I used to do it a lot a couple of years ago, and that's when I was like super like training my energy and stuff like that. But yeah, I've been doing this past couple of days, and it feels so nice. Like you can actually feel it, guys. Like if you're aware of your energy and you haven't practiced tai chi or qigong, like please do so. Like doing simple science experiments like with heat thermal and like the magnetic energy that comes out of your hands is like the very beginning. Tai chi is like if you want to strengthen that force that emanates through and out your body. But yeah, it was super nice. I've also been getting back into my Reiki. I started my Reiki lessons I would say 2 years ago, and I'm just getting back into it. I had my first level Reiki attunements about 2 years ago, but then I kind of stopped doing it, and it was kind of like moving situation, so I wasn't really focused on practicing Reiki. It was more like I was in survival mode. But I'm no longer in survival mode, except like this whole like coronavirus thing that's going on, which I want to get into. But yeah, so I started getting back into it, and then I might get my level 2 attunements done soon, since I've been practicing. But yeah, so this whole coronavirus thing is crazy. I don't even know if I want to like talk about it. I feel like I have mixed feelings about it personally, because like as a conspiracy theorist, or as somebody who just like doesn't trust the government whatsoever, one, you could say, okay, yeah, the coronavirus was put on, like, given to people on purpose to kill them off, basically. Like, especially old people. That's what I heard. It was meant to kill off the old people in China, and then it just got out of hand. But that could be one theory. The second one is, like, okay, yeah, this happened out of nowhere, like any other, like, sickness that happens to humanity in general. But, like, I feel like it's just too commercialized. Like, it's way too commercialized for me to like believe it in a way. It's so weird. Like I believe it, but I don't believe it. So like I don't believe it because I feel like it's too spoken about, and it could be just too spoken about because it's very dangerous. You know, it's killing people. It's freaking everywhere. It's spreading fast. But like, is it really? But like maybe, you know, like I can only say what I've heard on the news and what people are talking about. Right? Like I don't know anybody personally who has gotten it, or just like, but I'm pretty sure it's happening, you know. I'm not saying like it's fake, like they're just lying that this is not happening. Like I'm pretty sure it's happening, but is it happening as fast as they say it is, or is it happening faster than what they say it is? So like it can go both ways in that. And then also like, since it's so commercialized, I feel like they're pushing fear into us. And now like the media always wants to put fear in our heads, right? Like they always want us to live in this like fearful mindset and this like lower vibrational survival mindset, like stay in the root chakra basically, and like depend on them for everything. That's my main conspiracy. Like I've always felt that about the government, like especially when I first became conscious of everything. Like the media just literally doesn't want you to to see the beauty, the life, and everything. Like, the news never says anything good. If it does, it's something stupid, like, oh, look at this YouTube videos we found the other day, and it's like a dog doing something. Like, this shit's so dumb. But I feel like they're just putting fear in our head to make us be scared of it so we can live in fear. But also, from my knowledge, also in this book, that my study book that I've taken, like, illness and disease thrive where energy doesn't flow in your body. So if you're in a fearful state of mind, or if you're like constantly thinking negative thoughts, like, oh, I'm gonna get this. Also, like, that goes with manifestation too. If you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna end up getting this, blah blah blah, you're literally manifesting that into your life, and you probably will get it. But if you're in a super fearful mindset, and like you have all these negative thoughts coming in, energy cannot flow through your body like it should be. So if energy is not flowing, then the cells in that area are gonna start to die. And this is like, I'm pretty sure this is proven. You can look this up. Challenge me on this, please. Cells will die in that area, and that gives a space for illness and disease to thrive in. So like, yeah, you have all this fear of the coronavirus, like, coming into you, but then, like, since that fear is there, you're giving the illness a space in your body to thrive in. So welcoming it into your body. So I feel like it can go in many different ways. Like, yeah, they're putting fear into our head, or they're not trying to, they're just trying to inform us. But like, I mean, I'm against the news and everything, so I feel like everything they do is bad. But then again, I can't be like that. I gotta be accepting and loving, and just try not to think that way. But yeah, so I feel like it can go many different ways. So what I'm doing right now, and I'm trying not to let fear get into my head, because, you know, like, that's the main thing that they want, you know? So I'm keeping, like, I also have, you know, the state of mind where we create our reality, right? Every single person's reality is their own. So, like, whatever reality you decide to put yourself in, and this also goes with law of attraction, whatever reality you decide to put yourself in, that's the reality you're going to be. So if you're in complete control of your reality, and you know that your thoughts create your reality, you can create the reality for yourself that you want, right? So, like, you're in control of your own individual reality. So I feel like I'm not going to welcome that into my reality. So, like, literally, I'm, like, listening to the news, I'm like, all right, it's happening. Like, I can either be scared and get put into that reality, or I can be like, that's not going to happen to me. Like, yeah, it's happening, but, like, I can't even imagine that happening to me. And then if it does happen to me, like, okay, that's just the reality I'm going to be living. But I'm going to put myself in the reality where, like, they're just putting fear in our heads, and I'm not going to let it thrive within me so that this illness can get in with me. So, like, I have both of, like, going against it, but then also agreeing, like, we must stay safe. So, like, I'm gonna freaking protect myself. I'm not gonna protect myself because I'm scared. I'm gonna protect myself because I care for myself. And if something is going around, like, if there was anything else going on, like a freaking, like, everybody was getting sick, not like this, like people dying and stuff like this, but everybody was catching, like, a really bad cold everywhere, like, I'm still gonna protect myself because I'm not trying to catch a cold. Like, literally, that's it. And since people are dying, like, I don't want to die. And, like, I know, like, it's old people and, like, people who already have health conditions who are, like, dying and stuff. But, like, that doesn't mean I shouldn't have to protect myself. Like, that doesn't, it's a really bad cold. I hate being sick. Like, I hate being sick. I cannot do anything. Like, all I'm doing is in bed. I feel helpless. I just can't do anything. I hate being sick. So, like, I'm going to protect myself extra. And I'm not doing it out of fear. I'm doing it out of, because I care for myself. And because if I do get it, I don't want to spread that throughout to other people too, and then, like, they might end up dying. Like, you know what? Like, I don't want to do all that. So I'm doing it to care for myself and to care for every other person around me, I guess you could say. But don't let fear get into you. Like, just be aware that it's happening. Don't be scared. Just protect yourself. Be aware that it's happening and protect yourself. That's all I gotta say about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I think that's it. That's it. Oh wait, no, I already told you about the book, guys. I was about to, like, be like, I released an ebook. But you guys know, if you have not checked it out yet, It is on Amazon Kindle. It is on Barnes & Noble Nook. It is on Apple Books on your iPhone. And I'm trying to put it on the Play Store. I'll update you guys on that on my Instagram. I have to check what the status is of it because I have not been informed about anything. So keep up to date on my Instagram about things. I post blog posts every Monday on my WordPress. Every single link that leads to something I have is on my Instagram. My Instagram is Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. And yeah, it's like a link tree, and it has like it has a link to my blog, to my Wattpad books, to the store that I have, like that I sell stuff, and then like 3 different links to the ebook. I don't have a link to the podcast because then like I'd have to do a whole bunch of links to like every single form of the podcast. But yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of like updating my website, kind of updating my Instagram in a way. But yeah, anyways, if you subscribe to my blog, you'll get personal blog posts that I write every Monday. A lot of the time it's just like, recently they've been more like bhakti posts, just like posts me thinking about the universe and God and how much I love it. And then also like things that I've been enjoying these past few days, and just thoughts that I have. It's pretty personal. It's like a journal in a way, but in my written form, I guess you could say. And then Wednesdays I post poems, or I've been trying to write like new ones. So recently, like just randomly, I'll be posting poems from like old stuff that I have. A lot from my my collections on Wattpad. So I have a collection called The Shit Writings of an Adolescent Girl, and then I have another one called 21 and Not Even Close. That one I released on my 21st birthday. I just put an Instagram post about that recently. And then The Shit Diaries of an Adolescent Girl was supposed to be an open journal where I can just like post freely on it, and I don't do so as much, but I'm leaving it open just in case I'm in the mood to put a poem on it. But it's not really like, I feel like if I were to post more, it'd become more popular, because it was, when I was posting a lot on it, it was like trending #1 in mini diary and just like all that stuff. But I've been feeling the need like to expand more. I feel like if I stay within Wattpad, then I'm just gonna stay within Wattpad. So that's why I've been posting more on my blog, on my Instagram, mostly more on my Instagram, and just writing for myself. So follow my Instagram if you want to read my stuff. Follow my blog for some blog posts, and then also I post poems on there too. And writings, I just did a writing that I found in my notebook. I wrote one morning. I think I was just like, to get it back into writing, like you have to practice. And there was like a blog post that I wrote recently, how like you say you have to write every single day to, expand your craft, right? So this was just kind of an exercise that I did. It wasn't even an exercise, it was just a writing that I did, and I ended up posting it because I really liked it. But yeah, follow my Instagram, read my stuff, read my book if you haven't checked it out yet. The links are in my Instagram. And yeah, I'll keep up to date with the Google Play Books, or Google Books, I think it is. And yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Nothing much. I think we have a full moon coming up, or it came up already. I'm not too sure about that. But I wish I had more information about the full moon so I can update you, but I actually don't even know when it is. So I'll update myself actually after this. Doing a interview later. So maybe next episode you'll be seeing some features. Who knows? I always say that and then there's nobody. But yeah, so stay tuned, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Yeah. All right. Peace, guys.